Why? What's up, everybody, and welcome to my TNA Impact Wrestling review. A lot of big things happening on the show tonight as we kicked off the show with Aces and Eights coming out. As they talked about next week for Turning Point, as Bully Ray will go one-on-one with Mr. Anderson in a no disqualification match or a fight as presumed next week when they return back to the Impact Zone in Orlando, Florida. They pretty much said he was going to be the end-all, be-all of TNA. Bully Ray and pretty much Anderson came out and everything. Talked about Aces and Eights, and everybody's tired of them. And if Mr. Anderson wins next week against Bully Ray, then Aces and Eights must disband. And if Bully Ray wins, Mr. Anderson must leave TNA forever. Anderson pretty much didn't attack Bully Ray then. The others came out and say them Bully Ray got a chair, but Anderson was able to break out, knocking them all out of the ring then. Starting a match with Mike Knox versus Ken Anderson then. Pretty much Anderson went one-on-one with him. Pretty much in street clothes and everything. Pretty good match. Anderson hit the mic check on him, winning the match. Then pretty much went on with his whole Mr. Anderson thing. So that pretty much went on. Joseph Parks challenged Christopher Daniels tonight. Daniels went one-on-one with Joseph Park, which was a very bad match, even though Daniels picked up the win. It didn't make much sense and why it happened and stuff. Bully Ray and pretty much talked to both Aces and Eights in the back, talking about what happened. They tell them not to worry about it next week and everything. And they pretty much says, let's just go to strip club and everything. Ethan Carter III once again went against the same two guys for the past I don't know how many times now, weeks. What are they? Norv Firm and Dewey Barnes, I believe, in a handicap match this time, which I almost believe they were going to beat Ethan Carter III tonight. But Ethan Carter III pretty much picked up the win, hitting that Dean Ambrose finisher on him, saying the world needs us. Anything is the whole Dixie Carter or whatever Carter thing's now being used as. Because how many times does he has to face the same two jobbers? It's been going on for almost 8 or 9 weeks now. When does it end? When? Other stuff tonight out in AAA down in Mexico. The Friends of AJ Styles playing his video of him in Mexico defending the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. And that Dixie Carter is nothing as he defended his title all around the world now, as he's starting to do off in AAA in Mexico right now. Dixie Carter came out and pretty much talked about the AJ Styles, that she kicked him out, got rid of that redneck and everything, and because you wanted to go down to Mexico and you stole the TNA World Heavyweight Championship title from her title and everything. And she pretty much then talked about Turning Point then, as she brought out the other 4 participants that are in the title tournament: James Storm, Bobby Roode, Samoa Joe, and Magnus, as she told both Storm and Roode that they're going to be facing off next week in a bull rope match. But pretty much Big Dixie Carter says James Storm hasn't been doing anything. You haven't done pretty much nothing. Bobby Roode has beaten Kurt Angle 2 times, as she says. And pretty much Storm says he doesn't have anything to prove to her and stuff. And said it was about time he becomes champion and everything. And pretty much said he didn't care if it was any type of match, whatever falls count anywhere match or any something like that, whatever kind of match it is. I don't know. Pretty much Storm and Roode, pretty much with the whole sorry about your damn luck and stuff, and that pretty much ended that segment right there. Also tonight, she also announced that Samoa Joe and Magnus will go one-on-one with each other next week in a Falls Count Anywhere match. And pretty much Dixie Carter says you both have to face off next week, but Joe said this is your business, everything. that Samoa Joe does want to be the champion again, but the true champion right now is AJ Styles, that she couldn't get the job done. So that's why AJ Styles left. That's why you're making this whole tag tournament and this whole title tournament and everything, because we all know who the real champion is, but this is just to clean up her mess and everything. They're being used to clean up her mess. And pretty much Magnus got on the mic and said, pretty much says that the reason why the Man of Mafia is on ice, because they want to prove to each other that one of them is going to win the title and everything. So, saying it's not going to be easy, but it's going to happen in this whole Falls Count Anywhere match when Turning Point comes in. Which this whole segment went on hella long. I didn't know when this whole thing. Dixie Carter's is fucking boring on the mic. I don't know why. It just bored me. I know they kept booing her, but it was hard to listen to understand what everything she said, because it didn't make much sense. Also, tonight, well, I guess Anderson kidnapped Garrett Bischoff, which I thought Bischoff left, but Anderson attacked him and handcuffed him. They said we're gonna have a talk and stuff. Gail Kim and Lady Tapa came out. Pretty much, Gail Kim said she was challenging anybody around the world, and she pretty much went against somebody from Manchester, England, named Hannah Blossom. Gail Kim pretty much beat her then, and I don't know why they don't have Lady Tapa go against her, but she's just pretty much like the whole Tamina AJ thing in the WWE, or I don't even know who's copying who at this point. Who's copying who? Joseph Park came out and he cut a promo about Abyss and everything. He said when he first came to TNA, it was just to look for his brother and everything. But he doesn't know where his brother. His brother just pops in and out of nowhere. And you never know where he's going to come. But he said next week he's going to go one-on-one with Abyss. And how the fuck are they going to figure that out next week on TNA? What is going to happen, huh? When Abyss goes against Joseph Park. And Anderson pretty much carried Garrett Bischoff up somewhere, we don't know where. Austin Aries then went against Kurt Angle in a submission match to see who advanced on the TNA Tournament Championship thing. And Bobby Roode was out there to watch. It was a really good match from Kurt Angle and Austin Aries. Great match and everything. And pretty much did Bobby Roode's finisher on Austin Aries then. Angle did the crossface on him before anything else went on. Anderson's music hit, and he threw Garrett Bischoff out there and pretty much hit a pile driver, took his cut and held it up. Pretty much took focus away from the whole Kurt Angle and Bobby Roode thing and the whole tournament stuff after the match, and pretty much went back to focusing on Mr. Anderson and how next week when he goes against Bully Ray and the whole no disqualification fight, and focused on that. But ending off this show tonight on Impact and everything, to why any of this stuff happened, is why any of this stuff happened on the show. Why did it happen? I don't know. But then again, it was just a bad show other than from last week's episode of Impact. And what will happen next week when they come back back to the Impact Zone, back in Orlando, Florida? I don't know what's gonna happen next week, but it's a lot of big things that's supposed to be happening next week for this whole free TV pay-per-view, since they don't have a lot of pay-per-views throughout the year. Turning Point will be next week, and we will see what happens on that show. So I'm out of here. Once again, comment, subscribe. You know it's me, the HOOD, coming out with the news and reviews. You know I am, you know what I do. Keep watching the show. We're here, it's Tech, and we are done with this review of TNA Wrestling, and it's called Impact. So, you never know what I am, comment, subscribe. I'm going to be talking about something else pretty soon. Since in under the next 45 minutes or so, or 35 minutes, what will happen when the PlayStation 4 comes out, which is on Spike TV right now. Go watch it, it's a live thing that's going, so check that out. But I'm going to end this review. I'm going to get to my whole Xbox One PS4 thing another time when the time comes. Right now, this ain't that time. So we'll see what happens then. So I'm out of here. You know what I am. You know what I do. Comment, subscribe. I've said the same things before, but you never know what's going to happen on this show next. So I will see you guys later. I'm out of here. Peace.